Good morning and aloha. Welcome to Unity of Kona. To start our service this morning, I'd like to read together the May affirmation, which can be found in the announcements in the bulletin. Gratitude and appreciation are powerful forces within me. I count my blessings each day. I am grateful.
It's behind you too.
Is this on? Okay, let's read that one more time.
Okay.
All together now. Gratitude and appreciation are powerful forces within me. I count my blessings each day. I am grateful. Much better. And with our, as we start each service, let's stand and sing together, Stand Together by Faith Rivera.
Something great is happening, love has taken hold and it won't let it go of us now. Something here is calling us forward, upward motion, we're drops in one ocean, roll on. Will you rise up with me today? Lift up your voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. The dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together. Share a gift for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness, let's stand together now. Oh, oh. Every day's a chance you can do something amazing, to feel your passion blazing and shine. Paint with every vision and dance in new directions, explode to new heights in your mind. I will rise up with you today, lift up my voice and boldly say, we are the ones we've been waiting for. Live your dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together. Share your gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness, let's stand together now. Whoa, whoa. One dream, one voice, one heart, one world, one dream, one voice, one heart, one world. Stand together, one dream, stand, one voice, stand, one heart, stand, one world. Stand together. Live the dream of the highest calling, be the hope of a new day dawning. We're the ones who can make a difference, let's stand together. Share your gifts for the world that's waiting for a change that we're all creating. It's a moment for our greatness, let's stand together now.
And so now I have remembered that Vince is going to read from the Daily Word. Vince?
Thank you, Jim. The daily word today is, I appreciate the divine order and clarity expressing in every part of my life. There is a satisfaction in feeling that my own ego mind is in control of the events in my life, today and for days to come. However, there is a deeper, richer satisfaction that I experience when I surrender to the loving power that causes everything in the universe to flow and express in order and harmony. In that surrender, I release my own limited efforts to organize my life. There is one power, and I am part of it. I'm an essential part of a purpose more vast than my mind can imagine. I know that my day unfolds as an expression of that purpose. I give thanks for divine order in my life. I joyously embrace and rely upon the clarity that expresses in every part of my life. And for the prayer is, I am the Alpha and the Omega, says the Lord God, who is and was and who is to come, the Almighty. And that's from Revelations 1:8.
Thank you, Dan.
And now I invite you to just visualize our sanctuary as a beautiful heart. And we see this heart moving in and around through each one of us and filling our whole center with light, love, caring, and compassion that we have for ourselves and each other. I invite you to breathe into your heart space and just allow Spirit to fill you. And filled with love. Love that knows no boundaries. And in these moments, if you know of anyone in need of prayer, see them in our heart. And if you know of any circumstance in your world, in our world, see them in our heart as we say the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
And now we take time for meditation. We join with others in consciousness around the world. So I just invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. And to allow these words to guide you as you center yourselves in the one power and one presence, in the spirit of joy. This morning I breathe in and calm myself. I breathe in and quiet myself. And in this moment I relax. I relax into the peaceful energy of this space. I make this my time to commune with my own inner joy. I practice that which allows me to rest, to let go of the tension in my body. I let it go. I breathe in deeply and into the harmony of my own heart. And as I exhale, I let go. For the breath of life moves in me in the quiet. I gain confidence as I experience the spirit of faith. I let go of that which is not positive. In my inner life, I focus on the God within me. And I live and I move. And I have my very being in this essence of God. Today I keep my head up as I'm guided and directed. I am attracted to that which is best for me. As I breathe in and out, My faith moves me forward in the silence. This spirit of joy calls me. Today I don't look back, I look forward, and I focus on the world I want to create. Now, I picture my compassion, my aloha, flowing out from my center to those in my spiritual community, to those in my household, to my neighborhood, to my community, to my island, and the world. And for this connection, for this deep connection with Spirit, I feel so grateful. This morning in my mind, I can affirm, I meet challenge with confidence. I search and find joy in my life. And so it is.
Guest in town that's we met 17 years ago maybe, and it wasn't long after that I wrote this song for a mutual friend of ours. Let's see if he can figure it out. I was walking alone on that road, desperate and in need of a hand. That's where you came along, standing strong, like you were part of a plan. Dreams of a new world had come and passed. Nobody asked me to come out and play. When you asked me to come out and play, I've been over my head, out of my league, suffering a bad case of mental fatigue. Nowhere to turn, fear in the air, knowing I just had to find a friend. Better days up ahead, what they said, I could sure use a sign. Overnight sensation, vocations, live out of my mind. So I sit in my room at the edge of the earth, wondering was it worth the price I paid? I've been over my head, out of my league, suffering a bad case of battle fatigue. Nowhere to turn, fear in the air, knowing I just had to find a friend or an angel. I need a friend or an angel. Cause I'm in an angel? Are you a friend or an angel? You are my friend, you're my angel.
Thank you, David. George pointed to the waves and said, "We're going out there." A few months ago, I took a paddleboard lesson Keith had given me for Christmas. I was excited and I was nervous. So I met George at the beach at the Manalani, and we did the typical things. Standing on the beach with the paddle. So this is George and me. So we stood on the beach, learned how to hold the paddle, learned how to move the paddle, got in the shallow water on the paddle board, on my knees, did all of those practice things. And then he asks, "So do you have the lesson or do you have the adventure?" I think it said the adventure. And that's when he pointed to the waves. No more shallow water, we're going out in the waves. So I'm sure I looked shocked, but I followed him anyway, right? For the adventure. There's a picture of the ocean too we can leave up. Thank you. So do we have any paddleboarders in the room? Yay. Any surfers? Not one surfer. So there you go, former surfers. So George is a paddleboarder, a surfer, and a bit of a philosopher. He inspired me, and so I'm going to share some of George's wisdom with you today as well. Today's talk is dedicated to him and all of those people that we appreciate, all those people that teach us meaningful lessons. So this morning, we're going to look at how to ride the waves, how to look at life with joy. So we're going to look at the realities of challenge and the choice of suffering, the awareness of the science of joy, tips on how to meet waves in life, and perspectives on joy. So the question we might all ask ourselves this morning is, how do we meet challenge and still find joy? How do we meet challenge and still find joy? So this morning, our affirmation we want to work with is this: I meet challenge with confidence. I search and find joy in my life. Will you affirm that with me? I meet challenge with confidence. I search and find joy in my life. So Lisa took me out on the smooth, clear water. I'm grateful that I actually got to go paddleboarding before I went with George. With Keith's sister. Lisa is definitely a water person. Lisa lives on Oahu, and she took me to her favorite beach where she and the dog go paddleboarding. So the water was crystal clear, smooth as glass. It was a perfect day. And the dog climbed onto her paddleboard. Osa is the dog's name, and they go paddleboarding regularly. I got on her other paddleboard, and we set off. I thought, this is easy. There's no waves. I can do this. And I kept falling, right? Flipping off of the board over and over again. And eventually she said, why don't we switch boards? So we switched boards. And then, of course, the dog kept trying to climb on the board with me. actually, I had a great time, and she would call the dog back. And so I spent time falling off, getting back on, and paddling. So what do we know about paddleboarding and the realities of life? Well, I actually thought that people just rode those things on calm water. Wrong. Remember, I lived very far from the ocean. Kansas City, Missouri is about 800 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. So I've canoed Missouri's rivers, I've been boating on the Lake of the Ozarks, but I'd never been paddleboarding. The ancient people in Hawaii, Peru, did it go? The ancient people in Hawaii, Peru, and Africa all use some form of paddleboarding. And what we think of as modern paddleboarding actually began in 2004 when Laird Hamilton, a famous Maui surfer, actually rode waves in California with his paddle. And others followed him and started this modern trend. In the waves, Hamilton also gained wisdom for life. He was known for taking risks, and he once advised, "Do not be afraid of death. Be afraid of the half-lived life." So the sight and the sound of the ocean can be comforting, it can be soothing, but those waves can also be perplexing or dangerous. So what are some of the choppy waves that we might experience in life? Maybe you're a grandparent raising your grandchild. Maybe your father won't see, maybe your son rather won't see his father because dad just went to jail. Maybe you're facing a health challenge. And maybe a loved one just passed away. Maybe you lost a friend. Pain seems to be inevitable in life, and I try to remember life's challenges when I meet a neighbor who's rude or in a bad mood. I may have no idea what they're going through. The Christian scriptures offer encouragement for dealing with trouble. James 1:2-4 reads, "My brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of any kind, consider it nothing but joy, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking in nothing." Consider it nothing but joy. When you experience trials, use your endurance and mature into lasting joy. So two people who know a lot about endurance and joy are the Dalai Lama, the Tibetan leader, Tibetan Buddhist leader, and Desmond Tutu, Archbishop of South Africa. Did you know these two guys were friends? The Dalai Lama lives in exile, and Desmond Tutu experienced the violence of apartheid and its ultimate defeat. These spiritual masters met for a week to talk about joy, and they created the Book of Joy. They both understand the power of choice. The Dalai Lama put it like this: pain is inevitable, suffering is optional. And their book examines how we can choose happiness. We can choose suffering, or we can choose happiness. And it outlines some of the new science related to joy. We actually have brain circuits that influence our health. We have the ability to recover from negative states. We have an ability to maintain positive states, an ability to focus and avoid mind wandering, an ability to be generous. And those brain circuits are independent of each other to some extent. But we're hardwired We're hardwired to recover from anger, sadness, and fear. We're designed to control our minds, to focus as we move from the negative to the positive. And we're also equipped for compassion and cooperation. And the cool thing to me is this isn't just a spiritual idea. This is also a biological idea. So George took me out into the waves where the surfers go. I was really unsure about this, and I was still thinking, this isn't going to last very long. In the waves, he taught me to paddle, encouraging me to paddle as fast as I could ahead of the wave. Even when I couldn't see him, George was behind me, encouraging me as the waves came. Faster, get ready, head up. I kept turning around to look behind me. And then he would say, look where you want to go. Squat, lean back as you meet the wave. And I actually rode a few waves with some of the surfers. I really did. We stayed in the water more than an hour of falling, getting back up, and riding. And after all of that, George asked me, so how are your legs? And I hadn't thought about it. Oh my gosh, my legs were so sore. Slowly, we made our way back to the beach. And I want to share with you just a few of the things that George shared with me. Now, these are guidelines that work for paddleboarding, but they also work for life. Breathe, keep your head up, look in the direction you want to go, squat and lean back when you're meeting a wave, and take it all in. So how do we find joy in the midst of challenge or pain? First, we breathe. Don't hold your breath. George had to keep reminding me, Eric, breathe. And I realized I was tensing up so much that I wasn't breathing normally. The spirit of life breathes through us. It's not just a spiritual idea. Keep your head up. I kept trying to look down at my feet, worried about, are they in the right place? I kept checking to see. The truth is in life that we're best when we're confident, when we hold our heads up. Look in the direction you want to go. It seems obvious now. Don't you just love that though? What's your goal? Focus on that. And if we're focused on that, we're not focused on what's going on behind us or around us, and we're moving forward. Lean back when you meet a wave or a challenge. So what's a wave that you've encountered? Maybe your finances or your relationship seem choppy. Do we focus on how big it is or how rough it is? Maybe for a while. So where is the joy when we meet challenge? I want to share with you a quote from Desmond Tutu. Discovering more joy does not save us from the inevitability of hardship and heartbreak. In fact, we may cry more easily, but we also laugh more easily too. Perhaps we're just more alive. Yet as we discover more joy, we can face suffering in a way that ennobles rather than embitters. We have hardship without becoming hard. We have heartbreak without being broken. We don't want to be hard or broken. We want to experience life with excitement and delight. And I know from getting to know you that many of you do just that. The one thing that George didn't have to tell me is that he loves the ocean. Wasn't that obvious from his picture? He's in the water as much as possible. He exuded that philosophy. Take it all in. Life is filled with wonder. So today, I feel grateful for George, and I plan to spend more time riding the waves. So again, how do we realize joy? We find happiness in the midst of life. It's not about waiting for the next thing, but right there in the midst of life, whatever's going on. The Dalai Lama and Archbishop Tutu note that we find joy both in our hearts and in our minds. So we practice forgiveness and gratitude. We give love and we give generosity. And we might call those qualities of our heart. We also shape our thoughts, our qualities of mind. So we can have a new perspective about whatever is going on. We can find humility in the midst of a situation. We can share our humor and offer acceptance to others. And in all of those ways, we may reveal joy in the waves of life. So will you affirm with me again this morning? I meet challenge with confidence. Together, I meet challenge with confidence. I search and find joy in my life. I search and find joy in my life. So as we move through this week, we breathe, we keep our heads up, we look in the direction we want to go, and we lean back and ride the waves. Aloha.